Inshallah, you all are doing well. And thank you. If you are joining me, thank you very much for joining me live. If you are not joining me live and you catch the replay, Jazakumullahu khairan for engaging with my content. And also, I am learning as well as you are also learning. May Allah put barakah in our learning and make the learning a beneficial knowledge. So today I am here to share with you some tips and some ideas of how you can prepare for Ramadan. I know that Ramadan is really fast approaching. It is like boom, 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 boom. The days are going so fast. We never know if Allah will make it, will make us part of the people who will be blessed to witness Ramadan 2023, inshallah. May Allah make us among those people, and those people who will not be here with us during Ramadan 2023. May Allah forgive them. Allah give them Jannat al-Firdaus, and may Allah make their grave as cool and their hisab as easy. And when we are also not here, may we get people to pray for us, inshallah. So may Allah get us there. It's barely 2 weeks, and yeah, it's easy to get carried away, away with so many things happening in life that we don't really think about planning and preparing for Ramadan. A lot of people on my social media last year, when I was sharing about Ramadan on Instagram, and I got some few responses when I asked if how people prepare for Ramadan, or how like for ideas on how to prepare for Ramadan. And I got a lot of responses that tell me they don't prepare for Ramadan. Like, we don't prepare for Ramadan. We just wait for Ramadan to come. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. You know, sometimes we think that we are Muslims for a long time. We've been Muslims for a long time, and maybe born Muslims, maybe revert, but we've been Muslim for a little bit, so we understand it. We are used to the habit of salat every five times a day. We are used to the habit of giving sadaqah. We are used to the habit of we already said our shahada. We have the 5 pillars of Islam, obviously, right? But we forget that Ramadan is also part of the 5 pillars of Islam. That is the foundation of Islam, right? So we prepare for salat. That is, when we are going to make salat, there's no way that we can just get up and go and make salat. We have to prepare for salat, right? So how do we prepare for salat? We make our intention that we want to go and pray. If it is Zuhur, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, Fajr, we make intention to get up and go to the bathroom, right? And then maybe do some ghusl, some washing, and then we do wudu, right? The wudu and the washing and the getting up to go to the bathroom are all preparation towards the salat itself. So that is the preparation towards the physical salat itself, the physical spiritual salat itself, right? And when we are going to give zakat, we know that the zakat comes every year, right? Or there is this random zakat, sadaqah that we give and all of that. We make preparation of how much we've earned during the year, and we pay according to how much we've earned, right? It's like basically taxes. If you live in this Western countries, that is what happens. After the year, you have to file taxes, and then if you paid too much tax, the government is gonna refund you whatever you have paid that is more than what you're supposed to pay, right? So it's the same thing. As for zakat, we prepare and pay for zakat, right? When we are taking our shahada, we prepare to think about, are we really do we really want to be Muslims? And then when you are born Muslims, after a little bit, when you grow up, you decide for yourself, you want to really continue to be a Muslim or not, right? So when Ramadan comes in, we also have to try and pay attention to the pre-Ramadan preparation. But when we just say we don't prepare for Ramadan, we just wait for Ramadan to come and we start to fast, that is a big issue. Why am I saying that? Because we know this adage, we know this saying that goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you automatically plan to fail, right? So if we fail to plan for Ramadan, we are automatically planning to fail for the blessing, the barakah, the rahmah of Allah that is filled in the month of Ramadan. There's too much barakah, too much uncountable barakah that is filled in Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. So we want to capitalize and grab all of those barakah here and there, pieces of it, right? So if we just get into Ramadan without the preparation, we feel like it is a sprint. We feel like we have to really survive. It's a hustle mindset that we will be having. But when we plan, when you take your time to plan for Ramadan, I know that it's almost here. It's almost here. I have a video that I have done. I have posted, I think, last 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so, that I explain a little bit about preparation of Ramadan. That is a pre-recorded video. It is about 12 minutes. If you are interested, I will put it as a video, maybe here or there, and then I'll put it in the comment section, in the description box as well. So that explains it very, very easy. But I'm going to summarize a lot of the points here, right? So a lot of the times when I hear sisters say, I don't prepare for Ramadan, it baffles me. And then when I see sisters preparing for Ramadan, but in a different way, that is also not something that is interesting, right? So we know that Ramadan is the month of Quran, the month of blessings, the month of fasting, the month of Ramadan. There's a whole barakah in Ramadan, right? So we, in as much as there's a physical aspect of it, about maybe 50 to 70% of Ramadan, or even maybe 80% of Ramadan, is spiritual aspect. It is the spiritual aspect. So in as much as we are preparing for the physical aspect, the salat, the tarawih, the qiyamul layl, and all of those things, we also have to think about the spiritual aspect. How connected do we want to connect with the month of Ramadan? And how, when we connect, what do we want to gain from it? What is our intention? So that takes me to the first point. The first point is the intention. So what intention do you have going into Ramadan? People go to school. I went to school. I know you watching me went to school, or if you didn't, you at least went to something. You had something in your life, or you have something. Maybe you went to school, or you got married, or you have children, or you have something going on, right? So did you just get up? Did you just get up and started that? Did you just get up and started school? Even when you go to school, after the term, you have to take some exams, right? So you'll be preparing, going to school bit by bit, and then doing your assignments, and then taking classes. You make sure that you don't miss the class, because if you miss the class, you would miss some stuff that you need to pay attention to for the exams when the final exams comes in, right? So you prepare yourself all of that time, maybe 3 months, a year. You prepare yourself for that long. And then the exams comes, then you start to take the exams. Imagine if you don't prepare. We all know that if there is an exams and you don't prepare for the exams, what happens? You go in and you feel now you don't feel confident with the exams, right? And there is interviews. People went after the school. People go for interviews. People go for exams. People go for even seeking marriage. When you go to seek marriage, you do prepare. You prepare to go and seek marriage with a potential spouse. You prepare yourself. You get yourself very neat and clean. All the time you want to go and meet with the potential client or to meet with their family, right? So it's the same thing as Ramadan. Going into Ramadan, we just don't go into Ramadan and then burst into Ramadan like that. Here I am here. Whatever blessing is in Ramadan, I want to gain it. No, it doesn't happen like that. So when people tell me that they don't prepare for Ramadan, that's the reason why. So we have to have that mindset of, yes, Ramadan is very, very important. It only comes one time out of the year. And we have 12 months in a year. So all the 11 months is not for Ramadan, but it's for the preparation. It says during the Prophet ﷺ's time, the companions of Rasulullah ﷺ, even after his time, the companions of Rasulullah ﷺ used to prepare for Ramadan. They used to prepare for Ramadan for the 10 months, the whole year, I should say. They used to prepare for Ramadan for the whole year. The first 10 months, they prepare their worship. They prepare. How do they prepare? They maybe, if Zuhur, they've not been doing the nawafils, the 2 nawafils or the 4 nawafils before the Zuhur comes. They start to do 2 a little bit, maybe for only Zuhur. And then the following week you try, and then you start nawafil for Zuhur and nawafil for Asr. Right? And then you increase. The next week you do this, you increase for Maghrib, after Maghrib. The next time you increase for before Isha, and then after Isha. And then you increase to do the Tahajjud, and then you increase, and then you increase. Or you start to do the supplementary fasting, that is the Monday and the Thursday fasting, the Sunnah fasting. Or you just try to do only one before you add another, right? So that is how they prepare. And they give sadaqah. They give a lot of it. They prepare themselves not to be feeling too full and also not to be feeling too hungry. Because if we get used to eating too much throughout the year, and then all of a sudden we get to Ramadan, and then we start Ramadan, because Ramadan, especially when it's in the summer, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, this time Ramadan is not really into the summer. So it's a little, inshallah, going to be shorter hours, right? So if you would stay for like 16 hours without eating, without drinking, and then you've not been doing that for the whole year, how do you expect your body to respond? Your body will not respond appropriately, right? Your body is going to be in shock, because that's how the body is. The body depends on food to create hormones. It depends on food to create enzymes. It depends on food to create our muscles and then give us the cartilages and the everything that we need through our body and to make us even think right. But once we start to fast, we have to train our body little by little. But it is almost here. Ramadan is almost here. How do you plan? You plan your salat. You want to achieve in Ramadan as maybe your salat is not on point. Your salat has not been on point throughout the year. So that is one intention that you have to take. You have to take that intention and then say, okay, I want to get into Ramadan like this. And then I want to be in Ramadan like this. And then I want to be like this, the same thing in Ramadan, after Ramadan. So once you start planning, You start implementing. In Ramadan, it is all the energy around you. Everything is there. Everybody's praying, so you pray. And then after Ramadan, it's like your body has gotten acquainted to it, used to it. They say it takes about 30 to 60. Ramadan is like the calculation of Allah. It's not our calculation. So the 30 days is enough time for you to start something and then maintain it. But to start something at least for your body to get used to it. But it's not enough time for you to maintain it. So how do you maintain it? Is to prepare before Ramadan and then continue it after Ramadan. Right? Allah did not make the whole year to be Ramadan year. He made only 1 month to be Ramadan. So we don't have to take the 11 months for granted. Allah knows why he has not made the whole year to be Ramadan for us to be fasting throughout the year. So, and then if he made the 11 years not to be the month for us to be fasting, it is not a free month for us to just sit and relax and feel like there's nothing else to keep us busy. Right? And then coming back to the companions, when the companions used to prepare 10 months for Ramadan, when it gets to Rajab and Sha'ban, they even amplify their preparation to even prepare better for Ramadan. So how are you preparing for Ramadan this year, inshallah? It's only 2 weeks to Ramadan, inshallah. Today is the 11th. It's only 2 weeks to Ramadan. So how are you preparing for Ramadan? What is your intention of entering into Ramadan? If your intention is just to sit, and when it comes to Ramadan, you know that it's only for suhoor, you just wake up and eat, and then when it's iftar, you eat, and you go to do salat. It's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum, right? We don't want the bare minimum. We want the highest level, right? We strive, and then Allah helps us. So your intention is very, very, very important. So if you have the intention that I don't want to prepare for Ramadan, then Allah will not also make it easy, because innamal a'malu binniyat, every action comes with an intention. If you want Allah to answer your prayers, then you have to prepare on how Allah would answer your prayers. If you want to pass exams, coming back to the passing of to the exams again. If you are going to school, you don't just get up to say, okay, I would just speed read all my materials and go and take the exams. You don't do that. If you do that, possibly you will not get an A. And then an A is what you are aiming for. Possibly you won't even get a B, right? So if you want to really excel, you must read and you must strive and you must go to classes. You must not miss your classes. You must do your assignments, right? And then also not get into trouble with the teachers or your classmates, because when you get into trouble, even if you study, even if you prepare, you might get kicked out, right? So that's all of those things. We don't want to get into trouble with Allah. Allah is the most forgiving, right? But again, we have to prepare ourselves to get even closer to Allah. So that is one thing. Just take out the mindset of, I don't want to prepare. Yes, I understand some people just hype it, as in preparing for Ramadan is to prepare their house and put all the decorations. And it's okay if you have children, if you have little ones. Excellent. You want to bring the vibe of Ramadan in your home. Yes, it's an excellent idea to get your house decorated and have all the balloons. If you want to get all the meals prepared, yeah, it's fine, it's valid. But that is not the most important. The most important is for you to actually put yourself in the state of like you are already fasting. You are already fasting. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for Ramadan to come before you start fasting, like leaving yourself without food. Right now is the time for you to start. as if you are already fasting, as if you are already reciting the Quran, as if you are already praying your nawafils before Ramadan comes, as if you are already praying on time before Ramadan comes. It's not that you wait. You'll be doing all that you are doing all the 11 months of the year, and then you wait when Ramadan comes the first day and you expect yourself to change all your routines and then embrace Ramadan. I don't think it works like that. Even in real life, with all our life and everything, in real life, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Even if you are a woman, you are cooking, like in the kitchen, you have to prepare your meals. You have to know that this food, I want to eat it for lunch. I want to eat it for dinner, right? So coming back, Alhamdulillah, thank you very much for joining me. Yeah, you have to prepare, right? The same thing with Ramadan. You don't just wait for Ramadan to come to us before we start to like embrace Ramadan, and then make sure we are praying on time, and then make sure we are doing our nawafils, and then make sure that whatever hunger is we are going through, and then make sure that we are hydrating ourselves. No, it doesn't work like that. So as much as possible, the mindset of we don't prepare for Ramadan, take it out and throw it out the window, and bring the mindset of, yes, I prepare for Ramadan. How do you prepare for Ramadan? By amplifying whatever you are doing. Amplifying. Okay? Amplifying. And then after that, we introduced all the other physical stuff, the preparing the house. Maybe you want to clean a little bit because they say the angels don't come into the house that is not clean. Right? So you want your house to be clean. Those are on the side. But the main thing is you and your intention. You get into Ramadan with a good intention. And now is the time. It's not when it's the first day of Ramadan, then you start getting ready. No. It doesn't work like that. And I know that you've tried that for a long time. If this is not your first time practicing Ramadan, this is not your first time doing Ramadan, you've tried that for a long time and it has not worked for you. If this is not your first time practicing Ramadan, you've tried all that you've tried before and it has not worked for you. So why not change it? Change it and plan. And have that intention of, yes, I am going to take steps to get to the better space, better place of what I am now with my spirituality, with my physical being, until the first day of Ramadan. So the first day of Ramadan, then it feels like it is light. You don't really feel like nothing is really changed. Right? That's why sometimes too, when it comes to food, when we start Ramadan, we feel like we are so lethargic, we are tired, and the hunger is too much. Yeah, because we have not trained our body. We have not trained our body. And we have not trained our soul and our heart and all that is important. Right? So that is the first thing I want to mention. And so renew your intention and start preparing now. Now is the time. Now is what you have. Tomorrow is not what you have. You don't have tomorrow. You're not promised tomorrow. You are not promised first day of Ramadan. You are promised now. Okay, so that's the first point. And the second point is for the sisters watching me, if you have not made up your fast, it's just a reminder to try and make up your fast. And inshallah, if you are watching me and you have made up your fast, make intention, inshallah, when you get to Ramadan, when you miss your fast, Allah should make it easy. It should be part of your dua, that Allah should make it easy for you. Immediately after Ramadan, you should be able to make up your fast and not wait until the end of the year. so that when you are able to make up your fast as soon as possible, you know what happens? You are also able to get enough time to practice the supplementary prayers. Supplementary fast, the sunnah fast, right? So, but if you have makeup fast to make and you have not made up your fast and you have not possibly not been able to do Sita Shawwal, you cannot be able to also do the supplementary fast because you have your obligatory fast to make up and you have not made up that fast. So how can you be able to do your supplementary? And then the supplementary is the training fasting, right, for us, right? So this is just a reminder as well to my sisters who have fasts to make, and may Allah make it easy, because I know that sometimes it gets very, very difficult, especially for the sisters who have had babies or who are pregnant. It's really, really, really hard. Like maybe you had a baby, you are pregnant, and then Ramadan came and you were not able to fast, and then you had a baby exclusively breastfeeding your baby, maybe a newborn, and then Ramadan comes again and you are not able to fast. There's a lot of fast to make up. And I know it's very difficult, but it boils down to the same thing as the planning and then the preparation. So when we prepare, we know that at least, because we have a whole lot, 365 days in a year. So that would literally mean 335 days that we are left in the year. So when we plan, you'll be able to, when you plan, you'll be able to at least make up half of what you have to make up. And that's very, 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 very impressive, right? And then, like I said in my other video that I did about 3 or 4 days ago, if you have not watched that too, the link will be in the description, or you can scroll through my life tab and then watch that. It's about the books and our connection in Ramadan and how we can connect easily, and then the books that we have to be reading and keeping ourselves busy during Ramadan, right? So I mentioned that the most beloved deeds that Allah loves, the most beloved deeds by Allah is the consistent and small deeds. So the small and consistent deeds that we do every day or every other day, as far as it is consistent, it doesn't have to be elaborate, consistent, then Allah loves that better than when we wait and then start to do it. It's like a mountain in front of us and we are not really able to cope easily with it, right? So just try as much as possible. And I'm thinking about creating a support group for mothers. So just in case you are interested and you are watching this video, you get to this point and you are interested, please don't hesitate. Comment in the comment section below and let me know if you are interested. It's going to be a virtual support group for either all sisters or a separate support group for pregnancy and breastfeeding or postpartum. Yeah, so if you are interested, please don't forget, just comment in the comment section below and let me know. Okay, or you can let me know on Instagram. You check me out at the Nourished Muslimah on Instagram and send me a DM if you wish to do that as well. Yeah, so inshallah, may Allah make it easy for us sisters. May Allah bless us. We are really, 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 really trying. We are trying, and Allah is seeing our effort, and Allah is going to bless us with our effort. And that takes me to my second point, as in your intention getting into Ramadan would make or break your Ramadan. So your intention is to go into Ramadan to get blessings and do as much as possible. And then also take every action, every good action that you're going to do in Ramadan. Make niyyah as that would be a worship. It will be a form of worship. So if you're cooking for your family, may Allah make this an accepted form of worship. If you are waking your husband who went to work and he came home tired and he went to the masjid to do tarawih, when by the time he came it's too late and he has to just sleep for 2 hours, and you also slept for 2 hours but you managed to wake up dealing with the kids and all of that, you have also a job that you are running, but then you woke up and you did all that you need to do, and you take the intention, may Allah accept all of this as a form of worship. So we don't just have to be doing all the house chores and doing everything and taking care of. No, we have to make the niyyah as all of these things that I'm doing. Allah, you gave me that opportunity. You put this responsibility in my hands. So Allah, make this a form of worship and make this form of worship acceptable to you. Especially in Ramadan. All of those things Allah knows. Right? Yeah. So so that is another point. In Ramadan, you try as much as possible to not just get busy with the kitchen, get busy with the children, or laid back and say because you are fasting, you are tired. Yes, even being tired is valid. It's valid, and Allah would accept that from you. So communication and all of those things very, very important. And then that would also lead to, if there is nothing like that, if there is no your intention is really not the best intention, it's easy for you to burn out. It's easy for you to burn out. But as much as possible, if we have very spiritually forward intention, you see that a lot of things become a little easy for us, because there is a goal that we want to get to, and the goal is for Allah's acceptance, and the goal is for Allah's forgiveness, right? And the goal is for Allah's guidance, and the goal is for Allah's protection, right? So that is very, very helpful, very, very helpful. Yeah. So another point that I wanted to also say is to set your goals. So what is your goal? Your goal, coming back to reciting the Quran, what is your goal? Your goal is not to recite the Quran this year. That's fine. What is the other goal that you want to achieve? And then your goal is to, inshallah, after Ramadan, you want, maybe there is a little bit of issue, may Allah forbid, going on with you, going on with your marriage, going on with your family. You want Allah to accept it and make it better. So that can also be a goal. Pay attention to that and pray to Allah. Make dua every day. How many minutes you want to make dua for every day? How many minutes you want to take to recite the Quran every day? How many minutes you want to spend in the kitchen every day? And that also boils down to, if you are able to plan, especially with the kitchen and the meals. So most of the time we take Ramadan as for feasting instead of fasting. It is for feasting instead of fasting. But rather, Ramadan is for fasting. Ramadan is for ibadat. Ramadan is for worship. Ramadan is for dhikr. Ramadan is for asking for forgiveness. Ramadan is not for feasting, right? So if we go into the month, the barakah full month, and we think that we are just going to stay hungry during the day and fill our tummy in the for suhoor, and then we also fill our tummy for iftar, and then go to sleep and go to tarawih and do what that our salat, and then come back, then that is where the problem is. You see that a lot of the times we finish Ramadan and we don't see something changing, because we've been in Islam for a long time. It's like it goes every year and it comes every year. It goes every year and it comes every year. And it's we do all that we need to do, the habitual thing, our routine, and it goes back and comes back again, and we are still the same. We've not changed. We've not really. If you sit down and write down everything that you have, your goal is, and if you have achieved it or not, you see that maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. But when there is calculated intention, what is a calculated and good intention behind it, right? Then you see Allah is gonna really facilitate it for you. May Allah facilitate it for us all. May Allah make it easy and help us with everything that is going on in our lives, and forgive us this Ramadan and make us not to go back to our old deeds, old habits, and old routines that we really know that we don't like. May Allah make it to be a forward moving life for us after Ramadan, throughout Ramadan, before Ramadan, throughout Ramadan, and after Ramadan, inshallah. So yeah, so that is the goals. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve in Ramadan? I don't want to prolong this live, so I will try and make it as fast, talk as fast as possible, and then we can call it a day, right? So what is your goal? If you get into Ramadan, what is your goal? Even if you don't get into Ramadan, like I was saying, now is the time to start preparing. Prepare yourself as if you are in Ramadan. Don't wait for Ramadan to come before you start. Now is the time to start preparing before Ramadan comes. And then when you get to Ramadan, it becomes easy. After Ramadan, then you continue with whatever habits you have started, right? But if you wait for Ramadan, when Ramadan passes, there's no energy. The environment is not Ramadan energy anymore. It's easy to slip back, and then the Ramadan slump, right? Okay. So setting your goals is very important. What you want to achieve, what you want to get to. If you want to finish up reciting the Quran, if you don't want to finish up reciting the Quran, you want to take your time and do your reflections and your journaling and reciting the series and reciting books. Yes. What is your goal? Right? So the goal is not for the food, for the kitchen. And that also takes me to my next point. The next point is meal planning. The 2 months, only 2 months left to Ramadan. 2 weeks. 2 weeks left to Ramadan, inshallah. So the preparation of the meals. Inshallah, I'm going to make some recipe video and post it by the end of next week, before Friday, inshallah. So watch out for that as well. Okay? Or I might even come on live to do some hydration topics. And also I have a topic that I might do tomorrow or tomorrow next about breastfeeding nutrition during Ramadan. Okay, breastfeeding and maybe pregnancy nutrition during Ramadan. So watch out for that as well. Okay, so yes, so meal planning for us women, we cannot escape that, because we need to eat. If you have children, children need to eat even though they are not fasting, and our spouses need to eat. if we live in a bigger home, bigger family, the other family members need to eat as well. But sometimes the responsibility, whether we like it or not, it's not a balanced responsibility. It's like it's one-sided. It's only on us, right? It's one-sided, whether we like it or not. There is no need for getting triggered. There's no need for getting overwhelmed. There's no need for getting irritated. Now is the time you can start planning. You know the situation of your home. You know the situation of your family. So you have to start meal planning now. Budget on what you need to make. Suhoor is this. Iftar is this. After iftar snack is this. This is what we are going to spend. Go to the grocery store, the supermarket, the market, and start getting stuff that you can put in the refrigerator or you can put in the freezer, or some stuff that you can quickly prepare, maybe 3 days to Ramadan, that would not be spoiled, right? It will not be perishable. It's not perishable stuff, right? So you get yourself ready. Okay, you get yourself ready. If there are sauces, maybe stews that you need to make, you can make. For me, for instance, my family is very big on jollof rice sometimes. Okay, so jollof rice with some salad and stuff like that. The salad can be prepared when Ramadan comes, but the jollof rice would be like, okay, I will make the stew and then portion the stew. I know that I'm gonna make jollof rice in Ramadan for maybe 5 times or 6 times. So I'll make a big batch of stew and then portion it and put it in a Ziploc bag or in a ceramic bowl that has covers, and toss it in the freezer or put it in the refrigerator. And then if my freezer is not a big enough freezer, I can like cook it for the next day, cook it for another day. So it's gonna be very cooked and it's not going to get bad as easily, right? But if you have a bigger freezer, you portion it in Ziploc bag and you make it flat, put it in the freezer. When it's time for you to make your jollof rice, I'm bringing jollof rice because that's what I can remember right now, but it's a lot of ways to do it. If you want me to make a meal planning or meal prepping video, you can let me know in the comment section and I will make that as well. Okay, so you put it in the freezer. So during the day, you bring one pack out and you put it in the fridge or on the counter. You allow it to defrost. Put it in your pot. Add some water, cover it, add your rice, and that's it. You don't have to stay in the kitchen for 30 minutes preparing stew before you add your rice and make your jollof rice. That is all of the thing that all that you need to do when you have the stew is to just add water and add your rice, cover it up, and your meal is ready. And your meal is ready. As easy as that. That is how we can capitalize on our time. So we don't start to get irritated in the kitchen. So we don't start to get tired and we will not be able to do the salat properly. We will not be able to do the tarawih and the extra nafilas and even the third salat properly. We will be rushing through it. No. So this year, try as much as possible to tell yourself, I'm not rushing through salat. I'm not rushing through zikr. I'm not rushing through my du'as. I'm going to take my time to do all of those things intentionally. So how do you achieve that? By preparing for meals. If meals is a big thing in your family. Preparing the suhoor. Preparing your iftar. Right? So when you prepare and you have all of those things in the freezer, You know that when you cook for a day, it's gonna last for 2 days. For 2 iftars, when you cook this, it's gonna last for 2 suhoor. That's a plus. So you don't have to be doing things every day, right? So very, 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 very important. Meal planning is very important. So that is one point as well that I'm adding to whatever you know already, or whatever you have been doing already. Inshallah, this is helpful. So the next point that I wanted to also say is preparing your worship area. Preparing your worship area. Obviously, Ramadan is for worship. Ramadan is for ibadat. Ramadan is for the zikr. Ramadan is for getting closer to Allah and asking for forgiveness. So if we get occupied with other things, all the meals, preparing meals, and getting tired and exhausted with all that we need to do, because already our energy is very low, we are lethargic. And also, if our meals are not really on point, balanced, it's easy for you to get lethargic. If your meals are not really balanced, or your suhoor is not on point, your iftar is not on point, you are not really hydrating enough, it's easy to get lethargic. So you pay attention to those things as well. And then also try as much as possible to capitalize on your time, plan ahead, prep ahead, so you spare more time for the main thing, for the important thing. Okay? For the important thing. What is the important what is the important thing? That is the ibadat, the dhikr, the supplication, the intention, the intentionality in Ramadan, in the worship, right? So that is very important. Prepare your worship area. We know that as women, we don't actually pray throughout the month. It gets to a time where we don't pray. Maybe 7 days for you, maybe 6 days, maybe 5 days, maybe 9 days. It depends. So those days, even if you don't pray, what is your plan for those days? What are you planning for those days? How are you going to cope with those days? You've been doing what you know already long time ago. So this time, try as much as possible to change something up and see if something else would work better for you. Right? So preparing your worship area, getting a designated area that you have your sajada there, and you have your tasbih there, and you have your Quran there, you have your books there, and maybe if you have some flowers, you are into flowers, you put a flower over there to make it very beautiful and nice. Even if it is a small space, that's excellent. Because what? We are raising children as well. So as much as we try and strive, the children are seeing those things and they are learning. Inshallah, when they grow up, they have bigger space. What do you think they would do? They would even practice that better. And then get the sajada wash your sajada and clean the space. Get a basket and put all the books that you want to read, your Quran over there, the pen, notebook that you want to jot stuff down. Get everything there. So once you sit, you finish with the children, you finish with your kitchen responsibilities, you finish with maybe communicating with your husband and stuff like that, you come and spend your time there. You spend your time there, the designated space, and it smells good. Your sajada, you have some spray on it. You spray with a very beautiful spray. If you don't have spray, it's fine. If you have candle, make sure that the candle is not a toxic candle. It's non-toxic. You light it and you put it there. It's not bougie. It's really being intentional. It's really being intentional, and Allah appreciates that effort. Allah appreciates it. and you yourself, you feel good about it. That's what last year I made a video, and I also mentioned that, and that's what I have been doing lately. Like when it gets Ramadan, I know that I don't go to Taraweeh every day throughout the month. There are days that I don't go to Taraweeh, when my days, the red days, right, my period days. And I know that you watching me too, you have your period days. So the days that I'll be going to Taraweeh, I have chosen some special dresses that I go to Taraweeh with, right? I know a lot of people do that, but you do that unconsciously, right? You want to just look decent when you go to the masjid. But how about you change your intention? That intention of, because you are going to meet Allah in the masjid, you are going to worship Allah in the masjid, and you are going to smell good in front of the masjid, in front of Allah. I'm not saying to put the spray when you are going out, no, but you make sure that the dress is decent smelling and stuff like that, right? Because you are going to meet Allah in a special state, in a special way. It's not throughout the year too. You've not been going to the masjid, right? So this time isn't even step forward effort, right? So I have put like special dresses that I wear, and I make the intention. That's the intentionality, coming back to it. The intention of this dress will be worn because I am going for the worship, because of this and because of Allah, not because I want to look decent because people are there. So changing your mindset, changing your intention, right? So this point, I hope somebody's watching me, and if you are watching me, you try as much as possible. If it is not part of your routine, if it is not part of what you've been doing, if it's not part of what you know already, try to implement one or two in it and see how that goes. And inshallah, next year you see that it's even better. So you have those dress and you put it, you hang it, you iron it, you iron all of it. Or if you don't want to iron, you hang them. And first day you wear, second day you wear another, third day you wear, all because of Allah. Even if you are home and you are not praying and you want to come and spend time where you are doing your worship and your ibadat and your dhikr, you wear something clean and smelling good just because you want to spend time there. And that is a designated space that you come and talk to Allah, to laugh with Allah, to tell Him, to make dua to Him, to make dhikr, to cry to Allah, to ask for forgiveness. How amazing is that? How amazing, right? So that is very, very important. I'm saying this and I have goosebumps all over. Like, I feel like, yeah, beautiful, right? So these points are what I have for you, inshallah. If they are helpful, whatever point that I've said, everything that I've said that you think you can implement, well, I try as much as possible to implement it. If you have never tried implementing anything like this in Ramadan, try as much as possible to do that. Long time ago, our parents, when it gets to Ramadan, they get the house clean. They go and get the maize, if it is maize or corn, to get the corn dried and take it to the mill to grind it into powder, because they want to feed us and get everything ready, right? Nowadays, we don't have to do all of those things, but ours is a different way. So how are we going to do it differently and incorporating the ibadat in it? They do all of those things, and then as well as waking up early at dawn to cook with charcoal, to put the charcoal, the firewood, and put the charcoal and fan until the charcoal starts to create more fire, and then they'll put the pot on it and then cook the soup and cook the tuozafi or the benku or the rice or the whatever dish that is your traditional dish, right? And then they do that. I know a lot of cultures do that. But those days, that is how our parents did. That is how our grandparents did. Because they did not have another means. Why? Mostly because they don't have refrigerators. Because they don't have gas. Because they don't have electric stoves. But now we do. We have electric stove. We have refrigerators. They are even faster. So we can spare time to do the worship. And then we plan ahead and we put all the food that we meal plan and put it in the freezer and the refrigerator so that we don't have to be doing what they did before because they were disadvantaged, right? Right? They did not have the privilege that we have now. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, Allah, we thank you for all the privilege, all the mercy, and may Allah help us to even manage our time properly. They say one of the things, 3 things that we forget as humans in Islam, 3 things that we forget that we have to always hold tight. 5 after 5, right? That's 5 after 5, right? One of the points is time and our health, right? One of the points is time, how we manage our time. So it's very, very important in Ramadan, how we manage our time to save more time to do the actual thing. And the actual thing is the worship, is the ibadat, right? So these are the points that I have for you, inshallah. I hope these are helpful. If they are, please don't forget to share it with others. And if you have not subscribed yet, please don't forget subscribe to my channel. And may Allah bless you for subscribing, because when you subscribe, a lot of people like you, a lot of people who have the same belief, see this channel and they get benefit from it. And the rest of a lot of the channels that have beneficial information, valuable information, Islamic related information. But once we don't engage with this kind of content fall into the hands of people who don't need this information. And then when they get these videos, what do? They mock at these videos. They don't need the information. They laugh at these videos. They laugh at the content. And then those people who are there, who are supposed to be benefiting, they never see these videos. So it's very important. If you want to see more of these kind of content, make sure to try as much as possible to engage with this kind of content and share it, subscribe if you have not done so yet. And that's it for us. May Allah make us reach Ramadan, and Allahumma baligna Ramadan. Ya Allah, we ask you that when you make us reach Ramadan, you make us benefit from Ramadan. Don't let Ramadan come and just pass and go without us being forgiven, without us being pardoned, without us being written as people of Jannah, without us having mercy of whatever is going on, if it is health related, financial related, marriage, matrimonial related, if it is children related, pregnancy, whatever it is, if it is our parents, whatever it is, may Allah write all of those things as solved. If there are issues, may Allah solve it instantly for us in Ramadan. If they are not issues and they are blessings, may Allah increase the blessings and not take it away from us. Ya Allah, we ask you. And we are praying that I'm praying that Allah accepts all our du'as, all our dhikrs, all our effort, inshallah. Yeah. So all that I have said, I hope it's beneficial once again. And if I have said anything that is bad, it is from me. May Allah forgive me. May Allah make it easy for me to actually come here and be truthful and give knowledge and give value. If I said anything that is good, I know that it is from Allah. So Allah should make it easy and bless this channel, inshallah. Bless us all who are rearing and nurturing family. أقولي قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم. Yeah. So that's it for me. Inshallah, I will end it here. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.